On Saturday night, one of WA's most beloved greyhounds is honoured with the race named after her, the Group 3 Miata. Welcome to the Wednesday Preview. My name is James Broadhurst, and joining me, as he always does, is the regal race caller himself, Hayden King. How are you?
I'm well, James. I don't know what your title I can bestow upon you is, but I'll come up with something original and probably something a bit more accurate.
Okay, all right. Hey, have you recovered from the Sandgroper?
Yeah, it took a bit of recovering though. Well, hang on. I think we recovered better than the Ram Racing crew will have. After they ran second with Elite Machine, the weekend just kept getting better, culminating in that win in the Quokka. So,
yeah. No, it's certainly a big weekend. They were in fine form here on Friday night. Well, what about the result? Congratulations to Crumble Manelli, trainer David Hobby, and of course the slot holders, Total Container Solutions. Crumble Manelli bringing out a PB 29.64 when it mattered the most in the richest race the WA has ever seen, the Sandgroper. Great win by Crumble, and of course the runner-up, Momentum, and wonderful result for Team Guest, the Robertsons getting something back after a terrible lead up, and the third place getter Elite Machine up there again, and in fourth place, nearly but not quite, once again Electrify. That dog will win another feature race again soon, I suspect, but wasn't to be on the Sandgroper. Thoughts on the winner, Hayden, and thoughts on the concept?
it was the perfect timing coming together for Crumble Manelli. He was the dog on the up. He'd been building toward a performance like that, and when he pounced on the lead and everything else found a little bit of trouble in behind, he was the one you wanted to be on. So Crumble Manelli, a deserved winner, and I think the concept was a raging success. I think we did really well with our promotion, and all three codes turned up three fantastic races. So I think we couldn't have hoped for a better initiation to the concept of the slot races here in the West, and hopefully it continues in years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Really liked the way it all turned out. Just one more, if we had to be nitpicky, Hayden, going up same time as Gloucester Park on the Friday night, maybe that wasn't ideal, certainly for us, that early start time. But as you mentioned, the racing was superb across the three codes. Really captured the attention of the community, which was what the intention of that series was to do. And look, we got a great result out of it. WA gets the cash, first three place getters, and looking forward to next year's instalment, whenever they decide to launch that one.
Yeah, I think that does need to change next year. Next year, there's two things they can do, I feel. Greyhounds Thursday, Trots Friday, Gallop Saturday, or Trots Friday, Gallop Saturday, and then Saturday night Greyhounds. I think that needs to happen, because it was just logistically difficult when we had people here at Cannington that wanted to be at Gloucester Park. There were people that did go from Cannington to Gloucester Park. The weather didn't make it any better, but I just think it became too crowded, because you guys had to go off pretty early at Cannington, and then the other guys at Gloucester Park. That was a bit of an anticlimax in the sense that the race didn't roll around until 9:40 or something.
Right, yeah.
And then had that race, and then it was basically over. The meeting's done. So I feel like you need to find the happy medium between the two.
But as a first attempt, fantastic. All three codes
in terms
combined.
of the races, yeah, brilliant.
Absolutely. All right, we've got racing ahead of us Friday on the weekend, Friday night and Saturday at Cannington. Let's have a look at the Friday meeting. 11 races there. Thought one to have a look at was in race 7. This is the chemchoice.com.au mixed grade 3-4. We've got Azuku, a last start winner here in box 1. Has been mixing his form a little bit, this dog. Not lightning out of the boxes, but generally wants the rail, so the pole should serve him well here. Thought one of the other big threats in this one was Next Door. Weekend 2, of course, was second to Azuku last week. Does appear to be some scope for some other dogs to play a role here, though, as well. Hayden, who do you like in this one?
I think Rumblin' Moment's the leader, and he'll give a great sight. I think He was a little bit below his best here last week. He did have to do a fair bit to get to the front, though, so I'm bearing that under consideration when he petered out over the final 100 metres. He could lead and give a great side here. A few of these dogs are a little bit below their best as well. We know they are very capable, but their form is mixed. We know Izuku, when he turns up, he can beat any of these greyhounds. It's just a case of finding him on the right night. Weekend 2 may cross him early. Izuku isn't blessed with a heap of early speed. Weekend 2 has been getting out okay, and he was ahead of Izuku when they met last time out. He went to the outside, Izuku to the inside, and that possibly proved the difference. Moment to Hustle is going fairly. Maruga Scorpion's a bit of a class dropper, but I just feel the dog has shown better performances in the past, though the times still have been largely better than what she meets here. So I guess you could easily see her rebound to winning ways. Keeping Tux, Samba Manelli, they're going to find it hard work to get across. Keeping Tux, winner 3 starts ago, which bodes well for a race like this. Samba Manelli could get the cover across outside of Rumbler Moment, but probably needs to lift under any case. I think Rumbler Moment, given he's the likely leader, I think the rest require that bit of luck to chase him down from behind. So that's the way I'm swinging.
Okay, Rumbler Moment for you. I actually don't mind Izuku to go back-to-back here. Box 1 will really suit this.
Certainly a chance. It's just a case of getting him on his right night.
That too, yeah, that helps. All right, we swing our attention to Saturday night, of course, chasing once again here at Cannington, highlighted, of course, by the Group 3 Miata, named after the mighty Miata, one of the best dogs, if not the best dog ever produced here in Western Australia. And, of course, this field looks pretty stacked with chances. I'm not sure there's a Miata in this field, but some really handy dogs nonetheless. First picked, of course, the Galaxy winner. Hasn't won in her past 3, but has been a place getter. Speed Freaks, a dog that's been racing really well. Clifton Cruz, one of the heat winners, has now won 3 of his past 4 starts. Of course, at his best when he's out leading. Can he find the lead there from box 6? Bedrock Fred, talk about instant impact here in WA. 2 wins and was runner-up behind Rip and Grace last week. Of course, reeled out that 41.70 over the 700 metre journey in his first start here at Cannington. And then, of course, we've got Rip and Grace here. Ran second over the 520, ran second over the 600 in the 2 runs prior, and then wins her heat last week over the 720. Let's have a look at that race from box 6. Rip and Grace is sluggish away and last early, but later on, and we're into the back straight for a second time, and Rip and Grace has pushed up on the leading Chloe Ant, but so has Bedrock Fred, and it's Bedrock Fred that slings to the front. Rip and Grace is right there with him, however, and the pair battle it out. What a battle this was. It's tight to the finish, but with a final lunge on the line, Rip and Grace snares victory in 42.05. Should also make mention as well, Zarbel snuck into this race third in his heat. Dog that's not quite at his best at the moment. Good field, good race this one.
Yes, and a few variables to consider. Who's going to lead?
Right.
Who's going to end up where with this larger field this week? It changes the dynamic of the contest, and then just who's going to finish the strongest. They're the big questions that need answering. In an answer to your question about Clifton Cruz, yes, I think he can lead. Can he hold on, though, against a crack lineup? He probably needs the others to find a little bit of misfortune. Speed Freak is going well enough off the inside to be competitive. First picked, we know, took out the Galaxy. Since then has been close up without winning. Overzealous just keeps grinding home. Rip and Grace, that was a great race last week between she and Bedrock Fred. I didn't think she would come off the back of Bedrock Fred and beat him, but she did. She showed a real appetite for the 715 metres and finished too strongly to win, which makes her one of the leading contenders this week. Bedrock Fred, box 5 could be a little bit interesting for him. I guess this race isn't overly endowed with early speed, but he does have Clifton Cruz to his immediate outside, and then Dusty Deluxe and Zarbel drawn out in box number 8. It's just a
lot of variables, aren't there?
Absolutely. Zarbel, you know what you're going to get, but at the same time you don't know what you're going to get because he's always so competitive, has a massive amount of ability.
Just not up to optimum at the moment, though, is he?
No, and he seems to have a penchant for finding bother. So it's going to be hard work out there from box number 8. I have been a big fan of Bedrock Fred since arriving in WA, and I thought he would win last week before the race, during the race, and then after the race he was beaten. So I'm prepared to stick fat with him.
Okay, well, that's a fair bet. It's the quickest dog in the race by times, that 41.70 a few weeks back. If he reproduces that, he wins this one.
And he should be more screwed down for that run in the heat last week. It was always going to be just a case of qualification for him there last time out, and that was the simple assignment. This week is the feature with the big money on the line, so I'm prepared to take him as my selection.
As you mentioned, full field, so coming from behind won't be as easy as it was during the heats. There's been more dogs to get around as well, so that should play in the favour of a dog that's maybe out in the leading group.
Potentially, it's just a case of whether those dogs have the strength to hold off a dog from behind, and again, those dogs from behind, just how much luck they receive in transit is going to determine their fate.
All right, that is ahead of us on the weekend. Closer to home, we've got Chasing at Cannington tonight. Hayden, 12 races, 6:40 is the kickoff time. Free entry, as it always is, here at Greyhounds WA, and we are going head-to-head once again here. This is in race 5. Last time we did this, it didn't work out for either of us, really, did it? But look, who do you like in this one?
Well, I've gone with race 5, number 1, Cat Chew. I think this dog has classes on them. He's coming back from like Perth Cup grade. This is a novice. Box number 1. It all bodes well. Can't believe we're getting $2.20. He'll win. He'll win. I can't believe you're going against him.
Well, I guess I'll catch you outside, my friend, because I gave the dog out of box 2 here. Midnight Shine. Look, this is a greyhound that's had some problems, but if she puts it together like she did a couple of weeks ago, should be spearing to the front. I think should be very prominent here. So, race 5, number 2, Midnight Shine.
Cat Chew will go straight past her like she's nailed to the rail.
Okay. Well, we shall see, won't we? I'm looking forward to this contest tonight. That is the preview. Hope you've enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing you at the track, and we'll catch you next week on the Wednesday Preview.